Let's bring in Chris Mannix, senior NBA writer from Sports Illustrated. All right, is this news at all with LeBron James?
Well, it's always news, Dan, when a player of that caliber becomes a free agent. But I'll be honest, I've been pretty consistent throughout that I thought this was going to be the plan. We tend to kill guys for opting in. Remember when Dwight Howard opted into his contract? We wondered why he would do that, why he would limit his flexibility going forward. And think about it. If all three of these guys opt into their contracts for next year, that's $60 million you're tied to with a salary cap around 65, 66, and a luxury tax of 77. You don't have any flexibility to improve your roster. And LeBron was adamant at the end of the season. One of the most crystal clear points that he made was that he wanted to see this roster improve going into next year. Now, as a free agent, he can put pressure on the Heat. He can say, I want to see you guys sign this guy or that guy. And to another extent, he can take a little bit less money if that's what it means that he has to do. So none of this, none of what happened in the last half an hour is really all that surprising to me.
Yeah, I think this is a shot back at Pat Riley. You know, Riles with that bizarre press conference, putting the pressure on LeBron James to say, don't quit on me. The great ones come back after they lose. I think LeBron is saying, all right, Riles, I'm still here. Now entertain me. What do you have for me?
It might be, Dan, but I really believe that as soon as the season ended, this was the plan all along. Just seeing how limited they were in that San Antonio series, I think that opened some eyes within LeBron James, and certainly with his team as well, to see that this team needs to improve, and you simply can't improve by everybody opting in. I mean, I think the bigger question is, do the other guys follow suit? Is Dwayne Wade going to be willing to take less in annual salary to make this team better? Is Chris Bosh, who is going to have options both in terms of salary and probably role within a team in other markets, is he going to be willing to do the same? These are the next dominoes to fall. But LeBron opting out, it just creates more options for him, and it creates more options for Miami as well.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade's the key. I think in a lot of ways, how healthy he is, and if he'll restructure his deal, I think the future of the Miami Heat and the Big Three as we know it is pinned to him.
Well, you have to hope, Dan, that he takes one of those, like, Richard Jefferson deals. Remember Richard Jefferson in San Antonio was due $14 million in the last year of his deal. He opted out. Everyone thought he was nuts. Then he signed a deal for something like $35 million over 5 years, reducing his annual salary but giving him more guaranteed money in the long term. I can see the Heat trying to sway Dwayne Wade with that type of offer. Maybe you'd say, all right, we're not going to get you the $40 million over 2, but we'll get you $50 million over 5 if you want to play that long in your career. We'll absolutely pay you if your career doesn't go that far because of injury. So I think that's going to be the message to Wade going forward. Take less annual, but we'll make it up for you in the back end.
How do the Heat screw this up?
Well, they screw it up by refusing to go deep into luxury tax territory. And look, they've made some serious financially based moves. I mean, Mike Miller, I thought that move killed them in the finals, not having Miller around. Joel Anthony even, they didn't have an extra big to match up with Tim Duncan. They can screw this up by telling LeBron, look, we love you, and we're going to bring Wade and Bosh back, but we're simply not going to be deep taxpayers. Look, we're now entering, and I forget the exact numbers, but we're now entering that era where the Heat are towing that line of becoming repeater taxpayers. And the NBA has made it, so ugly for teams to be repeater taxpayers to the point where at some point you pay $4 for every $1 you're over the luxury tax threshold. The way they screw this up is by saying to James and Wade and Bosh, we're simply not going to pay the money that you might want us to pay to bring in better players.
Before I let you go, more likely to have a decision on Kevin Love or Carmelo Anthony?
Which team is more likely, or who's likely to happen first?
Yeah, that Kevin Love, whatever he does, we get that decision, or Carmelo?
It's going to be Carmelo. I see this Kevin Love thing dragging out for weeks, if not months. I go back to 2007 when Kevin Garnett was traded, and he was traded in late July. And I think that's sort of the approach that Flip Saunders and Minnesota is going to take. I mean, there's no rush right now. If they don't make a deal before the draft, and I'd be shocked at this point if they did, they can wait till July, middle of August, field every possible offer they can get, and go from there. I mean, the offers that are there now, whatever they have on the table, those offers are going to be there most likely in July and August. There's no rush there. Carmelo, I can't fathom him wanting to drag this out farther than July 10th or July 12th. He'll go through the process of that 9-day window after July 1st when teams can start talking to him. But beyond the first 2 weeks in July, I would imagine the Carmelo situation gets settled very quickly.
Thank you, Chris.
See you Thursday, Dan, with Dante Exum.
Okay. Over under 3.5. Dante Exum is taken. 3.5 is the over under.
Under 3 to my new mock draft.
3 to Philly.
Up on SI.com today, and I've got him going 3 to Philadelphia.
Oh, your new Ricky Rubio.
Huge star power, Dan.
Well, here's the thing. At least you're hitching your wagon to a guy who can actually shoot.
Well, that remains to be seen. But
well, he can shoot better than Rubio.
For the record, you're killing Rubio when he's all of 23, 24 years old. You don't think this guy is going to get better over the next few years?
Okay. Rondo's not going to improve shooting either.
I don't think Rondo tried, though, for most of his career. I thought Rondo's been pretty happy with
Who would you rather have right now, Rondo or Ricky Rubio?
Well, you got to factor in contracts, so I would say Rubio at this point.
This is your One Direction. You have like a Rubio poster, don't you, in your bedroom?
No, I gave that fantasy up years ago. Maybe when he was one of those mop top 14-year-olds playing in the Spanish league, and maybe I was interested there. But now, not so much.
Okay, who goes number 1 in your mock draft?
I've got Wiggins. I feel like there's this.
Yeah,
this
I
is the
do
time
too.
of year, Dan, where all the BS is out there. Everyone is floating this stuff, and I feel like this momentum towards Jabari Parker might be sort of a public perception play to get somebody to try to trade up. Utah's very interested in trading up to get Jabari Parker with that number 1 overall pick. Even I've heard floating the idea of Derek Favors in a package, but I think that Wiggins, if Cleveland stands pat, his ceiling. It's just too high. The guy's a two-way player that, in a few years, with little polish, I think he's going to be a real star.
Thank you, Chris.